What's up, everybody? I'm Amir Lynch. I'm here with Lunga. Today is a very special day because today is the first of many of the Necessity Show, where we sit down with artists and entrepreneurs and talk to them about their story and kind of, fill you guys in on ways that you can improve and maybe start your journey, start your process. So today I'm sitting down with Lunga. Lunga is a gentleman who I met at a open house filming event, and yeah, I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about yourself, Lunga.
All right, so yeah, hey everybody, my name is Lunga. I live here in Lancaster. I've been in Lancaster for about 13 years now. I'm originally from Africa, born in Swaziland, raised in Mozambique, and moved to the U.S. To finish out my senior year in high school, and then transition into college. So, and while I've been here, I've developed photography skills and an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your photography business. How did that start, your photography journey?
Honestly, photography is something I picked up by mistake. I was I wasn't very artsy at all. In high school, I had really no interest in art, and it was towards my last year of high school when I just happened to pick up a friend's camera and take a couple pictures, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And at that moment, I just decided, to get a camera for myself. At the time, I couldn't afford a camera actually. So I decided to volunteer for my college's newspaper my freshman year, so that I'd be able to sign out a camera whenever I wanted, and at the same time, I also had to, cover some events for them, like sports events or whatever they needed. But I had access to a camera whenever I wanted. I'd sign out a camera for an entire week and just play with it. And that's how I built my skills in photography.
Cool. That's dope. So when did you get the idea to turn that, like, just that skill into like a business and something that you could, profit off of?
Oh, when I was home from college, my skills kept getting better and better on my own. I was, watching YouTube videos, searching whatever topic I wanted to get better at, and through YouTube. And then one summer I was back at home, working an odd job. I was a dishwasher at a restaurant.
Okay.
I didn't even want to be a dishwasher. I asked them to be a waiter. They promised me they'd train me up in like 2 months, and I was like, all right. So they had me dishwashing. I was like, you know what? I'm way too smart for this.
Yeah.
I have skills I can turn into money. So I decided to apply for a job at a studio, and take the skills that I had already built myself, and get some professional training, and to take those skills to a level where I can actually start making money off of my skills. So that's what made me decide to turn it into a business. I was done with odd jobs. I was done dishwashing.
What were like the first couple of like speed bumps that you noticed when you were starting this, and how did you get over them?
Define a speed bump.
Like just like a hurdle or like something that you didn't expect that may have set you back, but then you learned how to leverage.
That's a good question. I think I don't know. I think maybe just figuring out how to turn creativity into money. I think like as creatives, we are not always business minded, and so a lot of creatives end up just creating and creating and creating, and you might even build up a following, but you never actually figure out how to turn that into a business. And I think that's getting into that mindset was probably the hardest thing, figuring that out.
Mhm.
But luckily, I had a mentor, and I recommend mentorship. It's the best way that I learn everything that I need to learn.
Mhm.
So I had a mentor that guided me through all of it. I'd say also just actually um, having to bring my skills to a point where I can present them to I can what am I trying to say? Getting my skills to a point where I can deliver acceptable work to clients and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But also that was easier for me because I had a mentor. So I think people who work on their own and try to grow to that point on their own will have a much tougher journey than I did. But yeah, definitely having somebody there with you who has gone through all of it, is there to critique every single job you do, every single picture you take. That's important. Yeah.
Perfect. How long were you under your mentor, or under your mentor's wing before you decided to branch off?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was 4 years of me working with him, but getting to the point where I was at, I want to say his level,
Mhm.
but close enough that um, you know clients can to the point where it's harder for clients to differentiate our work.
Mhm.
I think it took a little less time. I think it was maybe a year or two to get me to a point where my skills could be called professional, I should say.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's still the master, the grandmaster. All respects to Olay. Actually, I started working at Photo Lake Photography when I first um, got my professional gig in photography. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. What would you talk about your gallery business that you were kind of explaining to me?
Oh yeah. So what I do is I work with local artists in Mozambique.
Mhm.
Um, they produce batiks. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of what a batik is, but basically it's just a painting done on fabric. We use cotton, and it's painted with dyes.
Mhm.
And there's like this wax process that they use to isolate different areas on the painting that they don't want to be affected by certain colors. It's a intricate process, but so I started doing that because um, yeah, I just love that genre of art in Mozambique. I love the style of drawing, the style of the art, and I just always thought it deserved to be exposed to the world. And I've always wanted to start a business, so I ended up setting up a team of 4 artists in Mozambique with two friends of mine that helped me start the business. And we helped them improve the artwork that they were doing by providing them better fabrics than the fabric that they were using, better dyes, you know, water resistant dyes.
You would ship this out to Mozambique?
No, we buy all the materials in
Okay.
Mozambique.
Okay.
Produce everything in Mozambique,
Okay.
and then ship it out to the U.S. and sell it online.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's it helps. Doing that gives the art access to the global market, like the U.S. and Europe. That's where we sell a lot of our
Mhm.
art. And yeah, we have access to a much higher, a much stronger like buying power. So we're able to sell the batiks at the value that actually have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For the skills that these artists have, and having that access to the stronger buying power means that we're able to not only be a business but also pay the artists a lot more than what they make on their own back in Mozambique
Yeah.
selling the same art. Yeah. So yeah.
How did you come up with this idea?
Um. Uh. Okay. So it's a mixture of things. I've always wanted to be in like development. I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to be in economic development and help people
Mm-hmm.
be more resilient and yeah, make livable wages and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I went to school for government and political affairs.
Okay.
I just wanted to understand, how to organize and move people and resources, for the better. But then also, I think I'm at an advantage being somebody who's, multicultural. Coming from Mozambique and living in the U.S., I have access to Mozambique, which has a much lower cost of living,
Mm-hmm.
and which means also cost of production. And I always knew that as business wise, I needed to find a product in Mozambique that I could produce in Mozambique, but then come and sell it in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because I would have, a huge margin.
Mm-hmm.
Because cost of production out there is a lot lower, and then people over here have a much stronger buying power.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves for good profit margins. But that, along with my goals and development, and my passion and love for art,
Mm-hmm.
created that business. Because I would always go home, go back to Mozambique, maybe every 2 years, and I would visit the crafts market
Mm-hmm.
and buy, the same boutiques that I started selling. But you know, I always knew that I could take that same genre of art and prove what the final product, the quality and look and utility of the product, and bring it to the U.S. and sell it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a mixture of a whole lot of things, many things that created that business idea.
Word. Are you still like actively taking clients for your photography business, or are you strictly or mainly focused on your boutique business?
Batik.
Batik. Okay.
Yeah, batik. Batik.
Gotcha.
Yeah, batik. So I do take clients. I've been doing a lot of things. I have been focusing more on the boutique business. In the last 3 years. And also I've been focusing a lot in real estate, investment.
Mhm.
So in 2021, I invested in my first property. I was fortunate to be able to do that. And hold on, let me catch my
You're good. You're good.
my thought process there.
You're good.
So yeah. I've been busy with those two things, so my photography kind of slowed down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been putting myself out there as much as I used to before.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the work I get now is work that comes to me.
Yeah.
Like people who already know me, or people who are referred to me, and I'll take those jobs. But I haven't really been pushing myself as a photographer and looking for work. But that's something that I'm transitioning back into now, because last year I spent most of the year, fixing up my property, because I have a rental unit.
Yeah.
And a unit for myself that I live in.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's a whole setup in itself.
Yeah. Talk to me about how your transition into real estate and how you ended up getting your first property.
So yeah, I always wanted to get into real estate, as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend this to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saved up. I wanted to get a property. I was tired of paying rent. Every single month I paid rent. I just felt like I was throwing money away, or giving somebody else my money.
Yeah.
And paying for their lifestyle. And I was like, that wasn't okay with me. So I ended up saving up as much money as I could. And I looked around Lancaster for resources for first-time home buyers, which there's plenty. You can there's resources out there that will give you free money for your down payment as a first-time home buyer.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. What are they called now? What are they called now? Tenfold.
Okay.
Look up Tenfold Lancaster.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They just switched their names. Switched their name. They gave me, I think it was like 10K, towards my down payment, and I just have to pay it. If I ever sell the house, I have to pay that money back. Otherwise,
And this is you stay in the unit as well.
Yeah. So anyways, I was telling the story. I ended up saving up some money. I looked up these resources for first time home buyers, and I knew from the jump that I wanted to buy a multi-unit property because my goal wasn't to a lot of people when they think about buying their first home, they want their dream home. You know what I'm saying? They want like the picket fence, a nice big yard, and what you see on TV. But I personally don't think that's the smartest move. For me, my goal with my first property was to get a multi-unit, at least 2 units on the property, so that I can live in 1 unit and then rent the other one out. That way, the rental unit, covers my mortgage, and then some. So that way, now I live for free. Now housing pays me. I don't pay for housing, and that part of that was part of that goal was to eliminate housing as an expense.
Yeah.
Because as an adult, housing is probably your biggest expense, if not one of your top 2 biggest expenses.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've eliminated that expense and reversed it. Now it pays me. So. And I plan on continuing to invest in real estate.
So you're looking to get more properties as well?
Most definitely.
Is there any correlation between the real estate business and like your creative business? Do you see any overlap in any of the aspects?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been looking into getting into some real estate photography. That's a way that they overlap. And the most obvious way that I can think of right now. And my photography is a skill that I take everywhere. I've used it for my business. I do my own product photography for my boutique business. We did a About Us video. I did an About Us video with We and Company. You met them.
Yeah, I'm cool with Shelby and Jordan. They're good people.
Yeah. So they helped me with our About Us video. I shot some of the footage myself when I went back to Mozambique. My photography skills are really important. I take them everywhere.
Nice. That's so dope. Just the way that you open up these lanes for yourself just through your creative endeavors, and like you said, just keeping pursuing and like just being business minded and being able to put that forward. That's dope that you're able to do that. What would you say is like your favorite part of of being like self-employed and like your creative journey? Well,
so I am not self-employed yet.
Okay.
I do have a job. I do have a 9 to 5. And that's kind of what pulled me away from photography. So when I graduated from college, I then went to find a job with my degree. One, because I just got a degree, I need to get some type of experience with this degree so that it's a fallback, and that's what my degree is. My degree is excuse me.
You're good, man.
To me, my degree is like it's not even plan B, it's plan C or F, but I have a lot of other things that I want that I'm doing, and a lot of other streams of income that I'm building.
Mm-hmm.
But a degree is just something that is secure that I can always fall back on. So I wanted to get myself some experience in my degree, and then also getting a 9 to 5 was smarter for me because getting a loan is much harder if you're self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
They your banks want to see that you've had 2 years employment. They want to see consistent income. They don't want 1 month you're making this much, next month you're making less. They like that consistency, and it's harder to get loans if you're self-employed and your income fluctuates.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I ended up getting a 9 to 5 so that I can get experience in the professional world with a degree, but also be able to get a loan for my house.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to transition back into making my own money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Would you say that that's like kind of like your main focus, what you're trying to get at, like essentially like self-employment? Is that something that you're striving to achieve?
Definitely. I'd say within the next 2 years. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Word. I don't want to take up too much of your time,
Yeah.
So go ahead, shout yourself out. Shout out all your where people can find you if they want to reach out and go ahead. Go crazy.
I'm not very good at this, but follow me on Instagram at MOZ258. Anybody that needs any photography work, I'm here and available. I'm also very open to talking to people, young people who are interested in getting into business or real estate or anything that I've achieved that you're trying to get into. I'm an open book. I love to share my knowledge and the resources that I have found that help me. Yeah.
Word. Don't forget, shout out the boutique business too.
Yeah, Vona Vision. Vona Vision is my business. You can find us at vonavision.com. Or we'll also have an Etsy page. If you search Vona Vision on Etsy, you should be able to find us there as well. And the link below.
I got you. Thank you, Lunga.
Appreciate
Word.
you, man.
Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of many of the Necessity Show. And you'll see me again somewhere on your timeline or something. You already know. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.